Hey guys, round 3 of the next great YouTuber is up, and I will link my entry in the description below. It's a fun duel video involving a modern version of Morphtronics. Now, if everybody who watches this video clicks on that link, hits the thumbs up button, and then even just comes right back to this video, then it will guarantee that I make it to the semifinals. And you guys, so far, my subscribers, have put me at the top of the charts in both of the rounds so far, so I expect you guys can do it again because I owe this all to you. Thank you. You the real MVPs. What's up, my Yugioh bros? I'm your host, the one, the only, the RJB0. Welcome to Yugioh and Business Casual. So in my last discussion video, the one about how Hat may be going out of style, I said that the Trap Tricks engine may be the best engine of all time. And since there are a lot of engines in the history of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I figured I should take some time to explain why I think that, because that's a fairly bold claim to make. So I think that the Trap Tricks engine, in terms of power alone, has three unique things going for it. The first is that it is one of very few engines in the history of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That can produce progressive advantage, meaning adding cards to your advantage pool, while setting up for defensive plays, as in the traps that you can search with Mermelio. So there have been a few other engines in the history of the game that can do that. Most of them aren't really splashable engines. You need the entire deck in order to do that. One of them being Constellars can do that with Pleiades. Sylvans can set up their Felgrand fields. Infernities can set up really big defensive fields while gaining progressive advantage, but those are all things that require an entire deck in order to do that play. The only mildly splashable engine besides Trap Tricks that I can think of that has ever done that is the Dino Rabbit engine. Now, the Dino Rabbit engine wasn't really a splashable engine until the end of the format, in which we had the two rabbits available to us, at which point people started splashing Dino Rabbit engines into various anti-meta strategies, and it worked really well. Now, Dino Rabbit can do that. However, Trap Tricks has a second unique thing over Dino Rabbit, which is that Trap Tricks can basically search an out for every strategy in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! There are two decks that I could think of when I was thinking about it that could not be stopped by a trap hole, and those are Spellbooks and Chain Burn. Those are the only two decks that I can really think of that don't have a trap hole that stop them, simply because those decks don't really run monsters that can be stopped by a trap hole. Other than that, Trap Tricks have an out for everything. They have Acid Trap Hole for things that require flip effects. They have Deep Dark Trap Hole for anything that special summons big monsters. They are going to have Space Time Trap Hole, which is super cool. It's a trap card that when your opponent special summons a card from their hand or extra deck, you can shuffle it back into the deck. That's a super cool card. That's an out for a ton of things. They have basically an out for every strategy in the game, and that is something unique to this engine, and you can add it to any deck in almost any format, which makes it extremely splashable, because they also have things like Bottomless and Nightmare Trap Hole, which are two cards that have basically become the most staple trap cards in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And are searchable by Mermelio. So that's the second unique thing it has going for it. The third unique thing it has going for it is not only can it set up reactive plays, it can also create outs for established fields. This is a duality that no other engine in the history of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Could do. There's never been an engine that could both be reactive and progressive in taking away plays that your opponent is in the process of making, and in taking away established fields. And the reason why I can do that is because of Dionaya. Dionaya is basically the universal out to establish boards, because you can summon the Mermelio from your graveyard, which pops problem back rows if there's any setup problem back row, and then you can overlay for like a 101 or an Exciton Knight or a Ragna Zero or anything like that, which can take out established boards fairly easily and go at +2, potentially even possibly more. You can go into there's a worm version of Trap Tricks I've been working with, allows you to go for King Feral Imps, which allows you to search out more outs. It's just extremely versatile in what it can do. So those are three unique things it has going for it, just in terms of power alone. When you talk about splashability, this engine has even more things going for it, in that it is the first engine that I can think of in a long time that can basically go into any slower deck. There are other engines this format that can do that, things like the artifacts, things like the hands, but to some degree those only work with certain strategies. However, the Traptrix engine can basically go with anything. If you need a deck that can add a little bit of consistency to the deck, that can give you more first turn plays and allow you to take time to set up, then the Traptrix engine allows you to do that, because Myrmeleo gives you a great first turn play, and any slower deck can use that card and allow them to get more setup, take some more time, do some deck thinning, and give them the more cards that they need in order to set up their plays. So in terms of splashability, it is definitely one of the most splashable engines of all time. So the most powerful engine, possibly the most splashable engine, or one of the most splashable engines. So it's an extremely good engine. However, there is one distinction that I really need to make in order to complete this claim that Traptrix are the best engine of all time. And that is a distinction that I got from the comment section of that last discussion video, in which Capital G said, hey, what are you saying that they're the greatest engine of all time? There have been tons of other engines that have done more to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Than the Traptrix engine, which has only been around for a couple of months. Things like the Plant engine has been around forever and has been doing crazy things forever and has had more influence over the game. The Destiny Hero engine has been around for ages, and it was hugely influential for something like 3 or 4 years. So there's a really good reason why I've been saying best and not greatest, because when I say greatest, I measure that in terms of accomplishment and influence. And Traptrix definitely is not the greatest engine in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it really hasn't done a whole lot yet. It could become the greatest engine in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If they don't just totally cripple Myrmeleo in the near future. It's even getting its own like special summon from the deck, Abyss Sphere type of thing in Naturia Sacred Tree, which is going to be awesome for the deck and is going to diversify their strategy even more than they were before. But that's not the point. It has the potential to become the greatest engine, but it is not the greatest engine because it hasn't accomplished a whole lot. The reason why I say best is because I measure the word best in terms of just inherent quality of the engine itself. Its power, its splashability, its consistency, and it wipes the floor with every other splashable engine in history in all of those categories, just because of the number of outs that it can produce, the fact that it can produce progressive advantage while setting up for defensive plays, and the fact that it can beat both established boards and plays that are currently in progress. It's just an amazing engine. So I think that the Traptrix engine is the best splashable engine of all time. I would love to hear what you guys think. I am prepared to defend and argue my position as long as I have the energy for. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, let me know why in the comment section below. And of course, subscribe for more deck discussion, analysis, and general Yu-Gi-Oh! Shenanigans. I'm your host, the RJB0. Thank you guys for watching. I apologize for not having a Casual Friday video up this week. My Friday has been anything but casual. I'll try to get to the Q&A next week. I may have to do like a Casual Saturday or something like that. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I got a jet. See ya.